Hey, Jiwoo. How's your weekend going?
Asked Minho, his thick accent adding a charming hesitation to his English.
It's been fantastic. Yesterday, I had a picnic with some friends in Central Park. The weather was perfect, blue skies and a gentle breeze.
Minho smiled shyly.
That sounds amazing. I wish I could do things like that without feeling nervous about my English.
Don't worry, Miho. We can do that together sometime. I'd love to help you practice.
Jiwoo, your coffee's ready.
The barista called out, interrupting the buzz of the busy cafe. Jiwoo retrieved her coffee and turned back to Minho, her eyes sparkling.
New York City is incredible, isn't it? The energy here is unmatched. I still can't believe how far I've come.
Minho looked at Jiwoo curiously.
You speak English so well. How did you do it?
Jiwoo took a sip of her latte, a smile playing on her lips.
Let me tell you a little story about my journey from knowing almost no English to chatting effortlessly in one of the busiest cities in the world. You know how we both started learning English back in school, right? It was just another subject for me too, filled with boring textbooks and difficult grammar rules. Outside the classroom, I never spoke a word of it. My parents always encouraged me to learn English, knowing how important it would be for my future. But no matter how hard I tried, the words never seemed to stick. I struggled with pronunciation, grammar, and even simple vocabulary. I felt embarrassed and frustrated, convinced that I would never be able to speak English fluently. Everything changed when I discovered American TV series and movies. One day, while flipping through channels, I stumbled upon an episode of Friends. I couldn't understand most of what they were saying, but I was captivated by the characters and their stories. I decided to watch the entire series, determined to understand every word. At first, it was incredibly difficult. I had to pause every few seconds to look up words and phrases. I kept a notebook by my side, jotting down new vocabulary and expressions. I watched with subtitles, then re-watched without them, challenging myself to grasp the meaning through context. It was slow and tedious, but I was determined. Gradually, I began to notice improvements. I could understand more without needing to pause, and I started picking up on common phrases and idioms. My pronunciation improved as I mimicked the actors, trying to match their intonation and accent. I even started to think in English, forming sentences in my head and practicing them out loud when I was alone. Movies and TV series became my teachers. I immersed myself in different genres, from romantic comedies to action-packed thrillers. Each show introduced me to new vocabulary and cultural nuances. Watching kids' shows like SpongeBob SquarePants helped me with basic language, while more complex dramas like Breaking Bad expanded my understanding of conversational English. Of course, there were times when I felt discouraged. Some shows were harder to understand, and I often felt like giving up. But every time I understood a new joke or followed a complex storyline without subtitles, it felt like a huge victory. Those small successes kept me motivated. I also started participating in online forums and discussion groups about my favorite shows and movies. It was a safe space to practice writing and get feedback from native speakers. I made friends from all over the world, and our shared love for these shows made the learning process enjoyable and less intimidating. Eventually, I decided to take a leap of faith and move to the United States for college. I was nervous about speaking English in real-life situations, but my years of watching TV and movies had prepared me well. I found that I could understand my professors, make friends, and even participate in class discussions with confidence. Looking back, it's incredible to see how far I've come. From struggling with basic words to now living comfortably in an English-speaking country, my journey has been challenging but incredibly rewarding. Watching TV series and movies wasn't just a fun pastime, it was a powerful tool that transformed my life.
Jiwoo looked at Minho with encouragement in her eyes.
So, if you're struggling to learn English, don't be discouraged. Find something you love, immerse yourself in it, and practice consistently. If I could do it, starting from scratch with nothing but a TV remote and a lot of determination, so can you.
Minho's eyes lit up with hope.
와우. 지호. That's truly inspiring. I had no idea you went through all that. Thank you for sharing your story.
Jiwoo smiled, holding up her coffee cup.
Here's to learning, growing, and making dreams come true, one episode at a time.
Thick accent, a strong way of speaking a language that shows where you are from. Buzz, a low, continuous sound of people talking. Retrieved, got something back. Seem to stick, appear to stay in memory. Flipping, quickly changing or moving through, like pages or channels. Captivated, completely interested or fascinated by something. Grasp, understand something fully. Tedious, boring and too slow or long. Intonation, the rise and fall of the voice when speaking. Cultural nuances, small and important details in different cultures. Intimidating, making you feel scared or nervous. Leap of faith, a big step taken without knowing the outcome, trusting that it will work out.
Now it's your turn to share. We're eager to hear all about your journey learning English. Tell us your story in the comments below. Whether you faced challenges or celebrated victories, we want to hear it all. And here's the exciting part. Your story could be featured in one of our upcoming videos. Or if you'd like, we can even create a special story inspired by your experience. So don't hesitate, share your adventures with us today.